Cyberpunk 2077, a universe where swapping your hand into a cyber weapon or a massive blade is a matter of how deep your pockets are. Although availability of such medical procedures might be deemed beneficial in situations where somebody lost an arm or a leg during a car accident, you better consider your options. In the Night City, the progress in technology, science and medicine created a massive gap between the social groups and its members. This furthermore inflated the prices of medical insurance that one might need during the unprecedented situations. Depending on how much you can spend, the medical attention you receive might be better or worse. Due to that, there was a surge in black market activities. Individuals who call themselves Reaper Dogs started to install cybernetic prosthetics of various sources, sometimes more or less legal, and some of them not even functioning correctly. With the right pay, Reaper Dogs can install anything you want within your body, however, with little concern for your personal health. Well, unless you pay extra. This is where cyberpsychosis becomes an issue. Cyberpsychosis is a disease commonly known around the Night City. Common folk is terrified of it and do not believe there is a treatment for it, while the doctors from the trauma team describe it as an umbrella of the conditions affecting mind, body, and implemented hardware. There are some efforts to investigate and treat the cyberpsychosis, but with little success. Cyberpsychosis is the mental illness caused by excessive cybernetic body modification. It can be caused by direct implementation of excessive number of cyberwares or be induced by underlying mental conditions, such as depression or anxiety in people who already possess cyber implants. Interestingly, the symptoms of cyberpsychosis are very similar to that of depression, including decay of self-preservation, distancing or disregard for friends and family, and poor or impulsive outbursts or acts. People suffering from cyberpsychosis tend to identify more with machines than people and stop doing things that give them pleasure. With the progress of cyberpsychosis, people affected by this condition start to resent humans, which ends in violence. Not all the stages of cyberpsychosis turn into violence, but those are most common. This indicates that development of cyberpsychosis occurs through an inadequate interaction of a body of the host with cyber implant. This finally leads to alternation in brain chemistry that relates to sanity. To further understand the potential relation between how excessive number of cyberware implants can result in mental disorder leading to cyberpsychosis, we must understand how does host nerve system communicates with muscles and cyberware. Based on the number of available cyberware that affects various systems of the body, it is possible that the technology behind cyberware can recognize numerous information coming from the body of the host. If a human wants to conduct a certain body movement, an impulse is sent from the brain through the nerves in spinal cord and further on through motor nerves into the muscles. The area where nerves are meeting the muscle tissue is called neuromuscular junction. Neuron, which is a single nerve cell, informs muscle tissue to contract or relax by releasing a soup of chemicals. Molecules involved in that soup are called neurotransmitters. A key neurotransmitter involved in activation of skeletal muscles is called acetylcholine. This neurotransmitter modulates all the voluntary movements. However, the neurotransmitters we should be especially interested in are dopamine, serotonin, and noradrenaline. Let's start by describing dopamine. Dopamine is involved in regulation of our attention, motivation, pleasure, reward, and interest in life. A low level of dopamine can cause symptoms associated with depression, which is very like cyberpsychosis. Noradrenaline may be linked with alertness and energy, but also with attention and interest in life. On the other hand, serotonin is linked with anxiety, obsession, and compulsion. Based on the final stage of cyberpsychosis, which is an outburst of violence, we can speculate that serotonin will be significantly upregulated in the nerve system of cyberpsycho. Interestingly, serotonin noradrenaline reuptake inhibitors are a type of the drugs used for treatment of depression. Those drugs prevent the uptake of serotonin and noradrenaline back to neurons, including brain. This also means it prevents the increase in concentration of those neurotransmitters within the nerve cells. These propose that cyberpsychos have decreased level of dopamine while increased noradrenaline and especially serotonin. But why would the excessive implants of cyberware have such an intense effect on nerve system? Upon engraftment of cyberware, there will be an inflammation at the site where the cyberware was engrafted. Inflammatory processes are meant to recruit the immune cells to site of injury, to clean up dead cells and foreign, potentially deadly, molecules. This will result in that immune cells will initially aggressively react to implanted cyberware, because they do not recognize it as a part of a host yet. Host immune system needs some time to adapt to new equipment, as well as nerve system. Immune blockers are a common treatment prescribed following cyberware introduction by ReaperDoc. The purpose of immune blockers prescription is to alleviate inflammation and to improve communication between the body of the host and the cyberware. Dopamine facilitates appropriate contractile activity of the muscle. On the other hand, inflammation can disrupt the dopamine-mediated muscle contraction. In this case, serotonin will try to amplify remaining dopamine signaling and will try to regulate appropriate power output and muscle contraction. During the inflammation, where the dopamine signaling is disrupted, there will be an increased serotonin signaling to amplify the action mediated by dopamine. Thus, it can be said that excessive cyberware implants result in drainage of dopamine from the nervous system of the host because of the inflammation. This will negatively affect his mood. On the other hand, there will be an increase in serotonin signaling in the nervous system, which will ultimately lead to aggression in cyberpsychos. Oh wow, it was a high dose of information to be processed by our cyberware. Let's hope that our nerves and neurotransmitters handle them just fine. It is amazing to see that the factors that affect our mood can also significantly affect our body. Thus, if you want to make your cyberware working correctly, remember to take your dose of vitamins to make both your immune system, nerve system, and muscles happy. Also, implement some physical exercise now and again to keep your body appropriately stimulated. Please let me know what you think about this video in the comments. Also, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll do my best to release a video every week. For now, I wish you all the best and I see you in the next one.